morning. I'm Mrs. Hott from the Morgan County Partnership, and with me today is...
Hi, I'm Mrs. Shema from the Morgan County Partnership too.
And Miss Shema and we're here with a Positive Actions Value Virtual Lesson for you. Now, what is Positive Actions? It's a core curriculum where we talk about core value words that are important and essential to high schoolers' developmental assets. Everything from your wellness, physical, intellectual, and emotional, to defining who you are. When we talk about that, it helps us set a path with positive thoughts to have those actions to reach our goals. And you know what, Miss Shema?
What, Mrs. Hott?
With Positive Actions, it helps us to succeed. So, are you ready? Okay, for Positive Actions this week, we have a virtual lesson just for you. It features people that you might recognize, people who are also using positive actions. You might see them on social media, you might see them in your neighborhood. So, tell your friends, come to positivevaluesnetwork.com each week for a new Positive Action virtual video that's just for high school students. Super Scholars, Mrs. Hott here from the Morgan County Partnership, and today we welcome you another week. Are you ready? Here we go. First, we're going to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about the positive action value of role models. Following that, we have an activity for you to find up here on positivevaluesnetwork.com where you can take a look of the examples how you are a positive role model to others and those virtues that we can look around and see that we want to become to be a positive role model in the future. Let's take a look. We welcome you to positivevaluesnetwork.com. Morgan County Partnership is so excited to have you with us today. Whether you are at home for virtual or remote school, maybe it's distance learning, or you might be in the classroom with your teacher or social worker or counselor, or maybe you're at home or in the workplace even. The Morgan County Partnership is so glad to have you with us this week for the Positive Action Value. Now, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a new positive action value word. We're going to take a look at a positive action activity, and we're going to get a chance to talk about why positive actions are so important. Are you ready? Let's get started.
We all know that there are certain virtues that are good for us. Intelligence, wisdom, bravery, justice, respect, responsibility, honesty, unselfishness, compassion, patience, and perseverance always have been and always will be positive virtues. Think of some people who have those traits. Maybe it's Martin Luther King or Abraham Lincoln or George Washington. I bet you know a lot of facts about these historical figures, but maybe you've never taken the time to think about their character. Let's talk about Sybil Ludington. She's a little-known revolutionary figure, but boy, was she something. She rode 40 miles through the damp, cold night of April 26, 1777, to alert the colonial militia of a British attack. Her action was similar to that of Paul Revere, only she rode twice as far and was only 16 years old. That takes some real guts. Beriah Green. Anyone ever heard of Beriah Green? He was president of the first integrated school in the United States. He also spent the majority of his life fighting for the immediate abolition of slavery. He used his voice, pen, Abraham Lincoln. You know he was president during the Civil War. He wrote the Emancipation Proclamation and is credited with freeing the slaves. He went to war with the South to save the Union. He helped the country get through one of its most difficult times. He kept the United States united. But above all that, Abraham Lincoln showed great leadership. Could any of these people have done the deeds they're famous for without bravery, compassion, dedication, or wisdom? No. History can teach us much more than just the facts. It's full of examples of how to live better. And for you, even if you're not freeing the slaves or riding 40 miles on horseback, bravery and wisdom will help you get an A on that test, ask out that cute boy, and get that great job.
All right, it's time for teens to talk about it. Who is someone you admire? Think about what positive values do they represent? Is it kindness, being trustworthy, truthful, respectful? Someone Mrs. Hott admires is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Take a look. She was someone important to providing equal and fair justice to all people, regardless of their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation. Ruth Bader Ginsburg fought and stood up for what she believed in, and she stood up for you. She was a positive role model. Think of your positive role models. What qualities do they have? Now try this activity and look at the positive values you have in yourself and those you see around you and those you want to find more of. Your Positive Action Activity page can be found in Materials on PositiveValuesNetwork.com. Just pull down the tab in the upper left corner. And it's okay if you can't print it. Just grab a piece of paper and follow along with Miss Shema as we fill up a page with positive virtues to become positive role models. Here we go. First, grab some markers too, or colored pencils or crayons. Take a look at all the wonderful words Mrs. Hott spoke of earlier. Select some words that you have that are positive virtues and color them green. Then color blue the positive values you see in someone else in your home, school, or community. After that, color yellow the positive virtues you see in someone you have heard about. Like Mrs. Hott heard about Judge Ginsburg, she's truthful and just, and she's fair and inclusive to all women and people of color. Then color orange the positive virtues you want to have as you grow older. And take a look at the positive virtues that you can't find and that are needed. Color them purple. Beautiful. When you've filled up your virtues with color, share your positive action activity with your family. And if you want, you can send it to Mrs. Hott and Miss Shema with a picture to ahottfamily@gmail.com. Now keep this positive action activity so you can use it to share your positive virtues today and for the future and become a positive role model too. Good job! Hey Super Scholars, thanks for joining us today from our high school. Before we go, Mrs. Hott has a few words for you. We've been talking about role models, and a role model is someone who's, by their example and their actions, we want to follow them and we look up to what they do. And here's a challenge for you. Think of this. I know we're home a lot for remote school because of the pandemic, and you as a teenager, you're a role model too. Role models aren't just people that we see on TV, right? Role models for me are people who exhibit trust and truthfulness and who show positive attitudes. And they starts right here, guys, with your thoughts. Being positive will lead to those actions. And I want you to think about how what you do can be seen by others. And people are watching and they look the way you act and behave, and they're going to emulate you, especially if you've got some younger siblings in your house too. So try that this week. What can you do to be a positive role model? And you know what? Since we're home, maybe it's things like washing your hands, wearing that mask, and staying socially distant. Keep it up, Super Scholars. The light is at the end of the tunnel, and be a role model for others and follow the guidelines too. That's how we're going to see each other in school soon. Hey, Miss Shema, what did you think of that video?
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I wish when I was in high school to learn about self-concept, self-love. It's gonna help me a lot in that time.
Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't that long ago when I was in high school too. And especially during these times, not every day is positive. And high school's hard, right, Miss Shema? It's hard. So Shema and I are really hoping that you come back to Positive Values Network each week for a new video that we're going to share ways to help you get through this, because we care about you and we want you to know this. Are you ready, Miss Shema?
Yes.
You are unique. You are important, and every one of you are wonderfully made. See you next week.